Oh, I hope I'm back. I hope I'm back at the right the right one. I'm definitely having some issues today. If you are still on with me, it looks like there's a couple of you. Will you let me know that you can see me? And I am just going to jump back. Okay, it looks like I'm back live on the same thing. I don't know what the problems are today. Okay, now I lost all the comments. Here we go. Okay. Thank you, Sierra. Thank you for being here with me live so I even know that I'm coming back in the right place. Okay. And now I've lost my train of thought. But when you are oh good, Fran, hi, and thank you for joining me live. I'm glad you guys can see me. I don't know what is going on with the tech gremlins today, but they are playing with me for sure. So when you are I know what I was saying. I was sharing an experience that I see in programs that I'm in where people take like the examples that the course creator or the coach provide and they pretty much duplicate it. Like almost word for word, except swapping out what is industry specific for them. And I was saying that I subscribe to, I won't say a lot, but a fair number of people's like opt-ins and get on their email lists. One, sometimes it's shiny object syndrome, but two, because I like to see what other people are doing. I'm inspired by some people like really nailing their nurture sequence, for example, or I see like, ooh, didn't like that. Let's make sure I'm not doing those things. So I subscribe to a lot of things. Hey, Sandy, so good to see you. Thank you for joining me live. And when I subscribe to people and I'm seeing their emails come through, sometimes I can tell you exactly what course they participated in or that they've purchased or what coach they've worked with because it's like it's a script that they just followed and all they did was swap out some keywords. That's not going to help you make your message roar. That's not going to help you stand out. So you want to have an ability to get some guidance or some help, at least know what the intent of the script or the example that they're giving you so that you can learn how to weave in your own one of a kind message so that people aren't seeing that and going, oh, okay, they're in so-and-so's course because I've been in that course. And that's exactly what theirs looks like, right? So that's a benefit sometimes of coaching programs. Now, with a caveat that depending on who it is, they may not be able to help you specifically with your message and adapting your message because that's not their area of expertise. Okay, so don't expect that from them, but they should be able to help you understand like the intent of what that step or that script or that example is for. What or should you be trying to achieve with that piece of content, not to copy it. Okay, so that's one of the things though that you get with a coaching program is you get a little bit more of that individualized help and attention. So let's talk about just some general pros and cons of a coaching program. Now, the pros are generally, it's a hybrid of getting a course with some one-on-one support, right? So maybe you can't afford or don't choose to invest in working with somebody one-on-one and getting truly dedicated, individualized support and attention. Well, in a coaching program, you're often given a way to do that. So you get the course materials, the training, you get access to that course creator or coach in the group. Maybe there's Q&A calls where you can get extra support and there's, methods or mechanisms for getting individualized attention without the one-on-one investment. So that's a huge pro of a coaching program. Now, really quickly though, I'm going to jump to the con. They're generally more than just a course, right? So a standalone DIY course where you're mostly on your own is going to be less of an investment than a coaching program where you get access to the course creator and the coach to help you through that. But the benefit is you're getting a level of support that is normally reserved for one-on-one clients. There's probably, wrong bullet point. Another pro is you get focused help for how to apply that information to your own business, right? So unlike with a course, you're given some information and you're trying to figure out how to apply that. And I'm going to give you guys a really great analogy for this distinction here in just a moment. But when you can learn how to apply it to your own business and your own message and what you're trying to communicate, it helps you better understand that so that you can make sure you make your message roar, that you still are infusing your one of a kind message, and it's which is actionable now through whatever this program or course you're working on, right? And it lets you stand out. Don't just be cookie cutter and plug in the formula and follow the script. Okay? Now, there are a couple cons in addition to one con is it's typically more expensive than a standalone DIY course. But one of the cons I see, and I see this particularly in my program, but also in programs that I'm in, is that people very easily can fall into this feeling of being behind. So especially if a program is being run live or in real time, or you're plugged into some sort of real time support, you might have a tendency to be like, oh, I didn't do my week 2 homework and now we're on week 3 and now I'm behind, and that stresses some people out. So that's a little bit of a con if you have trouble keeping up. I will say that for most of the programs that I choose to invest in, there is an element of ongoing support. And so you don't have to stay on the same week as everybody else, but be looking for that. If you're investing in a program that you know has a coaching element to it, what happens if life happens or your business happens and you get busy and you can't keep up with the lessons as they're coming out? How can you continue to get support after the designated time frame? I'm, for example, in the middle of an 8-week program that's being run live right now. I happen to be what she's calling a founding member. So even after this first 8 weeks is over, I get lifetime access to plug back in and get group support from her. If that wasn't there and it was 8 weeks and then you're done, you just need to know that so you can make a decision if you're going to commit the time necessary during that 8-week duration to get the most out of the program and that coach while you get them, right? Because if you don't commit the time, what ends up happening is you've paid the price for a coaching program that you're now treating like a course, right? So you're treating it like a DIY, do it on my own, not keeping up, not taking advantage of the support that's available to you. And I see that happen even in my own program too, where, like I mentioned, I am in my Facebook group for my program clients every weekday, giving very targeted coaching, support, and guidance. And not everybody takes advantage of that. Now, I can't make you, right? But if you take advantage of it, I'm totally there for you. Every day. You post a question, usually within a couple hours you get a response from me. Worst case, it's the next business day. But you have to take advantage of that. So know what you're getting when you're making that choice. And if you're the kind of person that wants, values, and appreciates getting coaching in addition to the training course content. Okay? Hey, Pamela, so good to see you. Thank you for joining me live today. So let me give you an analogy of when you're trying to think about let me take a step back. When you know that you need help in a particular area of your business, how do you decide between a course that might be very cost effective and you're all motivated people? I mean, we can't be entrepreneurs and business owners if we aren't motivated, right? Self-motivated. We're the boss. So when to choose that versus when to choose a coaching program and what level of coaching, because there's different levels of coaching as well. So here's the best analogy that I've come up with so far around this. So let's imagine you are trying to get from Los Angeles to New York City. And there are many ways to get there, right? There, you could drive, you could fly, you could take a train, you could take a bus, you could hitchhike. There's a lot of things you could do. So let's equate all the different ways to get from A to B, wherever you are in your business, to wherever it is the result or the destination that you want, right? Los Angeles to New York City. You could choose to hitchhike. Now, hitchhiking to me is actually the equivalent, not even of a course, but hitchhiking is trying to take advantage of every freebie you can find and piecing it together. Now, you might be able to do that, but what might happen is you grab that first freebie, and that gets you from from Los Angeles to San Francisco. Oh, well, you made some progress, not exactly in the right direction, but we're moving, right? And then you find another freebie. Sandy says, I always love when you talk about this. Awesome, Sandy. I'm so glad this resonates. So now you grab another freebie, but hey, it might take you a few days or a couple weeks to find the right next freebie that's going to move you forward, right? So now you grab the next freebie and which is hitchhiking. And that gets you from San Francisco. Let's say that was a really good one. It got you to Omaha. Well, now you're in Omaha, but now you're trying to figure out what's the next path, and you're looking for freebies, and you might have to zigzag across the country a little bit. You might end up stuck in a city that you can't find like the next ride to get where you want to go. You may even have to backtrack. So let's say you went from Omaha to some small town in Kansas. Well, now it's really hard to find a ride to another bigger city. So now you hitchhike just back to Kansas City, to a bigger city, so that you can find a path forward. You see how like hitchhiking and trying to piecemeal this path together with freebies and whatever comes your way is going to take you a really long time to get to New York City, right? All right, so let's assume you're not the hitchhiker, but you're looking at potentially a course. And a course might be the equivalent of buying a map. You've got your own car, and you're going to buy the map, and it's going to route you from Los Angeles to New York City. And here's all the stops along the way. Here's where to stay, every turn to make, and it's going to get you from here to there, right? Now that sounds great. You're like, awesome, gonna hop in the car, plug in an audiobook, and I'm gonna see the sights along the way, and I'm going to follow this map. Well, what happens when there was construction and you don't know how to reroute? And let's assume for a moment you don't have GPS, okay? Because GPS changes things a little bit. So we're going to talk about that. But this is you're working off a paper map, and now there's construction and you can't go the way the map tells you to go. Or there's a severe storm and you need to hole up in a city longer than anticipated, and you don't know how to do whatever you need to do in that city to make the progress to move on. Or you're like, I don't really want to go through Omaha. Is there a route that would take me down through Phoenix instead? Well, that map, that course gets you from Los Angeles to New York City in one very specific way. And there's really no one there to guide you when you need to make modifications and something comes up and you want to change it. Hey, Elizabeth, so good to see you. Don't worry about being late. You can catch the replay for the first part. We've had some tech hiccups today anyway that have caused some delays, so I'm running a little bit long today. Okay, so you've got the map. That's like buying a course, right? Or you can invest in a program where there's a coach. Think of that like trying to get from LA to New York with a guide. Now, there's various ways and levels that you can do that, which there's various levels of coaching that you can get, right? You could, for example, take a guided tour bus. And there's the guides, the bus driver is going to drive you. The guide's going to tell you what you need to do at each stop. And the guide and the bus driver know how to make alterations and detours. But the whole group is moving together on the bus, right? If you miss the bus, and they've got to wait for you, or you're like, hey, I didn't get to see everything in Phoenix. Sorry, bus is moving, right? So, but you're being guided. You can ask questions. You can say like, hey, can we make a pit stop? Because everyone agree we can make a pit stop. You get some support with that, right? So you could do a bus to get you from LA to New York. Or you could take a train. Now, a train moves faster, probably less flexibility because you're on a track, but you still have someone who can guide you along the way. You're moving with a group of people, maybe a bigger group of people, and a little less intimate, but maybe faster progress, right? You could choose to jump on an airplane, and an airplane might be able to get you from LA to New York City nonstop. Maybe there's a stop or two, depending on if you're flying Southwest, right? Or if you're flying JetBlue, or you're flying Virgin Airlines, or you're flying somebody who can go nonstop. Maybe there's a couple stops. But now there's a pilot getting you there faster than the train or the bus or you driving by yourself, but you still have someone there to guide you and take care of you. You've got the flight crew that's taking care of you, but limited support, still a group program, access to getting a lot of help and questions. Elizabeth loves trains. You know what? I actually do love trains too. They're so relaxing. I'll tell stories about that another day. And then sort of the highest level of coaching support is maybe, oh, by the way, on that airplane, you could upgrade to first class, right? Get more support, smaller group, more access, better food, better control, better access to like getting whatever you want. Like, oh, I want another drink. Sure. Might take you longer to get that other drink back in coach, right? So different levels. But you could also choose to charter a private jet. And now you're like by yourself with a coach. That's a little bit more like one-on-one coaching. But do you see how even with coaching, there's a lot of different levels of support and access to give you control over how much individualized attention that you get? So these are the things that you want to be looking for. There's no bad or better necessarily, except for when you start looking at what do you need? Do you need more individualized attention? Do you need and want accountability to stay on track? How many of you have purchased a DIY course and it's still sitting on your virtual shelf and you haven't done it yet? I've got a few that are still sitting there that I haven't completed yet because sort of an out of sight, out of mind. I don't take advantage, or there was no sort of coaching to go with it. And you get busy and then you forget you have it and you're like, dang it, I have a whole course that would teach me how to do that thing. Now I have to carve out time to do it, and you lose that urgency to actually make progress and get work done. Pamela says, oh yeah, that would be me. Yeah. I look at coaching programs that I've invested in with different levels of coaching support. So where there's ones that are mostly you get a group community, and yes, you can ask questions of the course creator, but maybe their feedback is more like, hey, go look at lesson 2, and there's a monthly coaching call you can submit your questions for in advance. That's still some level of coaching support, not bad. You just need to know that's what you're getting when you make an investment, right? And I've been in programs where like you get that coach for the whole duration. I'm in one right now, 8 weeks, like anything I need, I can post in the group. I'm getting like specific coaching from her. I'm staying more engaged and it's a smaller group. I've been in really large programs where it feels like there's individualized coaching support, but it doesn't help you personalize or individualize the content. It's more to help you understand the content. So you just need to know what you're getting when you're investing in those so that your expectations are set. You know what you need to be supported to get the work done, and you can determine the value. Because ultimately you've got to value whatever it is you're getting access to in order to make those investments, right? And I'm the kind of person that if it's, let's call it $500 to get DIY and it's $1,000 to get like help, that $1,000 is worth, like the investment is so much more valuable to me. I've invested upwards of $10,000 in programs that have some level of coaching support, to be honest, that aren't even the same level of support that I provide my own clients, at far less than that. So be aware and think about what it is that you need, what's going to help you be successful. I know I don't want people purchasing my program and having it sit on the shelf. That is not the intention of my program. My program is not a course. It is a coaching program. I'm there to guide you, help you, support you every step of the way. And I do offer levels of support, just like you could choose to hop on the bus or get on the train or maybe jump on the airplane. And if you want to charter a jet, I offer all of those levels of support depending on what it is that you need to feel successful and get results and what you value in an investment. So if you're not clear when you're assessing a program or a course to invest in, if you're not 100% clear about what you're getting, make sure you reach out and ask that course creator, that program creator, to get really clear how they're going to help you, how you're going to be able to get your questions answered, what happens when you get stuck. Okay. Yeah, Elizabeth says, been there. Fran says, me too. I'd rather do the one-on-one or some level of coaching versus DIY. Yeah. I'm even more towards now wanting smaller group coaching versus large programs, or one-on-one, because I know that I want to be able to move at the pace I need to move at, which is if I'm going to dedicate the time to it, then I want to be able to get all the results out of it. And I know that I value that. That means you pay for it. I mean, most of these programs that have that are $5,000, $10,000 or more. So keep that in mind, as that's what you're looking for. There are some really great DIY programs out there. I don't want to knock the DIY programs at all. And especially if that's all that you can invest in right now, but you need that knowledge, like do that. But know that you'll get so much more return on your investment. That's one thing that we all need to be thinking about as business owners. With every investment that we make, what are we going to make back from that? Now, sometimes a program or a coach will say, I'll help you 10 times your income or triple your whatever, right? They give you numbers. Honestly, I never make promises like that for a couple reasons, because I've been asked about this before. I never guarantee you or say this is going to help you double, triple, 10x your investment. I feel really confident that it will, but I don't say that because there's actually a lot of variables in there that are outside of my control. I can help you do the work, get amazing results, coach you all along the way, but you also have to do the work, right? When it's a coaching program, if it's not done for you services, like when I used to do brand development for clients, which I don't do anymore, if I'm developing it, and by the way, you're giving me a marketing budget to roll it out, I can much more accurately predict the success and the results out of that. But when my clients are doing the work and like they have to ask me the questions, they have to tell me how they're progressing, they have to let me help them for me to be, give them that value, and then they have to roll it out and use it. I don't have control over those things. So I do say, if you're willing to do the work and I'm here for you every step of the way, take advantage of all of that, then you will be more confident, stand out in your market, have the words that resonate with your ideal client, attracts more of them to you. You will get those benefits, but I can't quantify that because I don't know what level of effort and work you're going to put into it, right? So again, just some things to be thinking about as you're assessing hiring somebody or investing in a program. For the people who say this, this will help you make X dollars in 30 days. Make sure you know what your part of that work is, and how much access you get to them to help you. That all factors in. Okay. So, okay, I went a little long today. Every time you guys, I'm going to work on that because I know your time is super valuable and I appreciate you being here and watching this video. But I get carried away wanting to share all these good nuggets with you. So thank you for hanging with me. Now, if you've been thinking about needing to work on your message, I wanted to let you know I'm opening up the next round of enrollment for Messaging Mastery, the Foundation, next week. And it is the first time since January that I will be offering a small group coaching option. So normally you can plug into my program and I have different levels of support. You can get one-on-one calls with me at different levels. And I'm in that Facebook group every day. Like I said, you get a lot of individualized attention. But a couple times a year, I run a live small group round. And what that means is that there are 10 or fewer people where we meet weekly for group coaching calls. So you get even more access to me in a much more cost-effective way than working with me one-on-one. My one-on-one clients pay thousands of dollars a month to be able to do that. And so this gives me an opportunity to work with a small group of people in a very focused way. Kind of like chartering a private jet, but just for a group of like 10 of you. Okay. So if you've been thinking about it at all, I'll be opening that up next Wednesday with my next live masterclass. Now, if you've attended any of my live masterclasses in the past, very similar content. You're going to see a new name with it as it's rolling out this week. It's the 4-part framework to help you make your message roar. And it's how to help you find the right words to connect with the right people, you know, your dreamiest clients, to attract them to you. And I'll break down everything, all the elements that it takes to build your messaging foundation, the exact things I help you do inside the program. But in the free masterclass, I'm going to tell you why each of them is important, how they give you a competitive advantage in the market. Listen, most people are not doing this work. So by doing it, you're already going to be leaps and bounds above everybody else, okay, by getting this framework in place. But I'm also going to give you information to help you start developing this for yourself right away, whether or not you're ready and interested in investing in the program and working with me. So if you want to sign up for that masterclass, and by the way, if you are considering enrolling in my program, I highly recommend you join the masterclass and take advantage of bonuses I'll be offering only during the live masterclass. Better bonuses than I've ever offered before. And there's 2 times available for the masterclass next Wednesday. So you can go check out the times at karieprice.com/roar to grab your spot. And I hope that you will join me. Come find the right words. The right words really do matter. If you don't believe that, then tell me how it feels to not have the right words right now. Because if you don't have the right words that you feel super confident about, that you know your ideal client is resonating with and relating to, then all of your marketing is probably feeling a lot harder than it needs to be right now. So go check out the live masterclass, sign up for that. It's next Wednesday, May 23rd, 2 different times available. It will be live both times. Just go to karieprice.com/roar to grab your spot. All right. If you have any other questions, pop them into my free Facebook group, The Messaging Den. I'm happy to answer your questions there. Just go to themessagingden.com or search for The Messaging Den right here on Facebook. And until next week, I will be back here live at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I forgot to look up the topic. I promised I would start telling you guys that. Totally forgot. But every Tuesday at 11 a.m., I will be back live right here, and I look forward to seeing you then. Sandy, I am happy to message you. If this is a good time for you, I'd love to invite you to come check that out. I'd love to help you. All right, I'll reach out to you, Sandy, right after this live. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and I will see you next time. Until then, don't settle for sounding like everybody else. Make sure that you stand out, you're being heard. Make your message roar. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.